Hey, this is the Saturday, June 22nd, 2019 Pro and Con Show. And I'm your host, Michael James Odd. This is actually a makeup show. I was at a water park with the family and had trouble trying to do this. So, makeup show. And I'm glad actually there was a delay in it because I had the opportunity to watch a video that Bill Maher put together. He has a weekly comedy show on Friday nights, and there's one part of it where he does a comedy bit normally, but one part of it is fairly serious. He takes a moment under his new rules scheme to really talk in earnest, at least from his view. And so I wanted to play that video, just the very end of it, because what he's done is he's talked about all kinds of stuff, but then he starts talking about the presidential candidates and somebody that could potentially beat Mr. Trump. And he ends up talking about Oprah Winfrey at some extent. And so he's talking about how celebrity has become a big part of your ability to try to be president of the United States these days. And in fact, Mr. Trump, a big part of what allowed him to be successful and get where he is because of his celebrity from the Apprentice show, and years on the New York scene, trying to get into every movie that he possibly could, and so on. So here's Bill Maher. And I just wanted to play just a minute or two and then talk about it. So here's Bill.
There really is no underestimating the value of celebrity in modern American politics, and that's the final box that Oprah checks. I know some voters don't want a celebrity president, but face it, that rule went out the window in 1980 when Bonzo's co-star got elected. It's not the way it's supposed to be. It's not the way I'd like it to be. But we officially live in a post-literate, post-truth, starfucker society. And this is going to be the dirtiest campaign ever. I worry.
Okay. So the reason why I played just that bit of it is Bill says a couple of things that I think, I believe a whole lot of people would agree with. I certainly do. And that is not right. It's not the way it should be. It's not the way we want it to be. So how are we going to fix this? How are we going to fix it? I personally believe that it's broken, that we have reached a point with the two-party system, and television and the different streams of information and stuff like that, that we're really suffering. And quite honestly, with 58 years on the planet now, I look back at everything that we've done, and I appreciate that at one time some of the political party stuff was of benefit, but there's also the dark side of it, which is there's this influence of the existing politic. And sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad, and a lot of times it's bad. You end up with, if you want to be a politician, you end up kowtowing to the rest of the party. And again, positives and negatives to that. But I think in today's age with modern technology and modern communication systems, we could leapfrog all of this and get rid of it. Get rid of all the big money in elections. Get rid of the false sense that electing someone that wants glamour and power and wealth is ultimately going to be a good leader of our country. It just is not that way. And I harken back to my experience in the military, and the other officers there in the Navy. And by far the best leaders, the best officers were the ones that didn't give a damn about wealth and power and influence. They truly were there serving their country, and they did a great job being focused on the people and what was right for the people and right to move forward to try to overcome whatever issues. So, as I've mentioned before in some of my previous shows, it seems clear to me, but certainly always open to alternate suggestions, but just follow me now on this path. So how do we get around having people volunteer for this thing, which is serving in office, and get them away from the pursuit of wealth, influence, and power? How do we do that? Because it's sorely destroying, and if it's not destroying, then it's certainly adversely affecting in a very bad way. I'm absolutely convinced we could be so much better. We could be doing so much more if we would just figure out a way to get people, honest, caring people, to serve their country for a specific period of time, and then their service would end. It's done. You serve and you're done. It's just like when I was in the military. I was in the United States Navy for 5 years. I served and I was done. So how would it work again? Well, you can go back and I'll probably post again at some point the draft, and again it's the straw man, the draft 28th Amendment to the Constitution. But basically, it's a mashup, it's a mix of the jury system with kind of like an online Facebook kind of thing, not Facebook, but kind of like that, and then the election system as we currently have it, only probably online again, and with better security and stuff like that. So you get candidates from a pool. They're just randomly selected. They come just like jury duty. You basically use a sieve in the various places and just say, okay, here's our 20 candidates or whatever from the state of Missouri. And then those candidates fill in their profiles on this online system, and then everyone can look at their profiles. It's all very standardized, the information that's there, and what they can and cannot say, and all this is on there. And we're all free to look at that and then say, well, based on this person's history, I think this is the best person from Missouri in this round, and this is the second best, and this is the third best. And so through this online system, we would percolate up and say, okay, here's the top, whatever, 4 or 5 candidates. And of course, they would be mapped by age to the different federal government positions, like representative or senator or president, that they were eligible for. And then, that's kind of a pre-vote, a primary. And it's all on the system. And then, so now we have, okay, here's the top candidates for president. Here's the top candidates for Senate in the various states. Here's the top candidates for representative in the various states in this election cycle. So now they go into the final election, and in between, those candidates post more information. There's more questions, there's more town halls, there's more talking about the issues and how they're going to help us resolve them and so on. And then we have the final election, again secure online, using some kind of bio system, and which are becoming wildly prevalent anymore. You don't have to have a computer. You can go to a certain place, and because the key thing is that you don't vote twice, right? So now, like my phone these days has a facial recognition thing. So we could just deploy phones like that had a fairly robust facial recognition thing, and say, okay, here's the person you just voted. there's your face. Now you can't vote again. And, during that election cycle. Very quick, very easy, and very secure. So one of the main reasons why people are saying, well, we should have them produce driver's licenses or electricity bills or whatever is because they want to make sure they don't vote twice. Well, here it is, and so the potential for voter fraud or whatever would be extremely low. And as I proposed in the amendment, Congress would review that on a regular basis and make sure that the security controls were adequate. So the bottom line is you and I have to participate more in order to get this done, get anything done, really. If you really believe in this country and you believe in the main tenets that we believe in, freedom and equality and fairness, sometimes we have to do something a little bit radical to get there. And in this particular case, what I'm saying is it's time to do something where we get more involved. All of us, all the citizens get more involved and track this closely and make sure that our representatives are moving forward to cure us of this issue, so that at a future time the system will be more robust and we're much more likely to get candidates that they're not interested in gaining wealth, influence, or power because of the way that the construct is around them. It's not that easy to do. And and sworn to the oath that I recommend, where it's a noble and honorable service that you provide, just like when I went in the Navy. Okay, I did that, swore an oath to defend the country, but I did it for 5 years, and so during that period of time, that's my focus. That's what I'm there to do, and of course the organization around me monitored that to make sure that that's what I was doing. And then I was done, and that's it. And so anyway, so Bill Maher has this show, and I don't want to advertise to him about him too much or anything like that, although it's a fine show. But I really just wanted to point out and use the video, because video sometimes helps people. It clicks. It's a thing that helps people get images in their mind and make it stronger and more permanent. Okay, so a makeup show for June 22nd. This is Michael James Ott. Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to talking to you again real soon. Bye for now.